Well now, we call this the act of mating. But there are several other very important differences between human beings and animals that you should know about.
Welcome to Ready Player U. We're your hosts, Mike
and Matt.
We're here to talk about movies, music, pop culture, and random shit. Hope you enjoy the show.
Let's go.
All right, so we're back. New episode. Matt, I did some homework on our last episode. We have 37 total downloads of our third episode, 28 followers, and we are now in 4 different countries.
Oh, wow.
We're in Italy, Torridi Quadrasaro. I can't say that right because I'm white.
Yeah, no shit.
Borna, Germany, and Brussels, Belgium.
Oh, wow.
We have listeners that are undeclared where they're at in the U.S. They probably have their location turned off.
All right.
19 of those. 8 in Hanford. Garber, Iowa, or Oklahoma. One of the two. Riverbank, Sacramento. Las Vegas, Nevada, Fresno, California, Ashburn, either Georgia or Virginia, New York, Merced, California, Seattle, Washington, Dallas, Texas, and then the other 4 countries that I mentioned.
Wow, that's that's impressive.
We wanted to say thank you for all those who were listening, who downloaded our episode, who listened to it in all the different countries. We appreciate you giving us a chance. Hopefully you keep listening. Hopefully you listen again. Couple of humble dudes just, giving one thing a shot, and we appreciate you guys giving us a chance.
Yeah, so, and today's date is March 17th, St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
And I don't see you wearing any green, but I ain't going to pinch you.
I got my tattoo.
Okay, that counts.
I got my Pickle Rick tattoo, so you can't hate me for that.
Oh, yeah. And I just need some green beer, and I think it'll be good.
Yeah. I was looking at one of the other things. We were covering video games in the first episode. We got the 8-bit generation, 16-bit generation, all the different consoles we've owned or played, and failed consoles.
All right.
What are all the consoles you've ever owned?
I owned?
Owned.
Well, I remember my first one was the Atari. This was back in, I don't know, probably 87, 88.
Yeah.
It'd already been out for quite a while by the time I got one, so. But yeah, no, it's the Atari. Everybody knows, like Pac-Man, Pitfall. And there's like E.T. They said it was one of the worst games ever made.
Yes.
But I seen Angry Video Game Nerd did a movie, and he actually reviewed the game, and he said it's actually not that bad of a game. But for that time, nobody knew what the hell was going on, or how to navigate, because you had pixelated screens, so it's not like any game today.
Right.
And I remember playing that game, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was just walking around, fucking making ET's neck go up and down, and
I don't even remember playing the ET game, but I did see a review on it that it was one of the worst games ever made, but a bunch of them got buried in, I think it was New Mexico.
Yeah.
And somebody went out and dug them up because apparently that one cartridge that only a few people had was worth tons of money.
Right.
So then there was tons of people out there trying to dig them up.
Right.
And that's bananas because I'm sure there's none left.
Oh,
and
yeah.
if you did manage to get one out of that hot-ass dirt, underneath the dirt I'm sure it's not that hot, but
yeah,
buried like that, I don't know.
Yeah, so I had the Atari, then I think it was for my birthday or Christmas, probably 88, 89, I got my first Nintendo system.
Yeah.
With Super Mario Duck Hunt combo. And, we already covered a lot of the games on there, and Then from there, I went with the Super Nintendo. Another great console.
Revolutionary console.
A lot of classic games. Then I went from that to the PlayStation. I had a Game Boy, the PS2, and now I have the PS4. So I never had the 3, but one of my old roommates did have the 3, so I did play some games on 3.
Yeah.
But I mean, and then of course, a bunch of my friends, like Xbox. I play some of those. Halo and shit like that.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it was cool for FPS, but that's not me. I mean, I like the PC.
Yeah.
We talked about Duke Nukem, Doom.
Which these new consoles are basically PCs anymore, especially Xbox.
Right.
That one started out basically doing what they've already done, is making a Windows-based system. Is that for volume? Yeah, for your ears, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that sounds a lot better.
Yeah. But I was watching Angry Video Game Nerd. No, I'm sorry. Mr. Who's the Boss.
Mm.
And he bought every Xbox ever made, every PlayStation ever made, every Nintendo product ever made. And when he was reviewing the Nintendo, he was saying how when the NES came out, it was during a time when everybody was kind of writing off video game systems because they were like, everybody thought it was going to be a fad, people were going to be over it.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. And when Nintendo came out, that's why they named it the entertainment system.
Right.
Because they didn't want it to be tied too much to a video game console, to kind of try and avoid that label. And thank God they didn't listen to any of the noise going on in the toy industry, because when they sold, it was 86 million consoles or something,
mm-hmm.
they basically saved the video game industry.
Right.
And I was kind of sitting there soaking all this in, and I remember thinking back, because I never had an Atari, but I remember thinking back when I had a choice. I was fortunate enough to have a choice. I chose the Nintendo over the Sega, and we were playing all that Duck Hunt and all that stuff. Yeah. And then years later, I think my uncle got me a Super Nintendo, and then a PlayStation, and then I inherited a Sega Genesis.
Yeah, what we used to play the shit out of.
Yeah, and so my addiction has never left. It's so strong. I have a whole room dedicated to the video games.
Yeah, see, the thing with the Nintendo, we were barely a year old when that shit came out. It came out in 1983.
Yeah.
So by the time we were able to play them,
it had been established.
It had already been out for a while. But,
right.
But I think our generation that did get to play it, I think we're the ones that were more into, the games now, because, the kids in 82, say they're 8, 9 years old, by the time we were around that age, I mean, they were already teenagers, so I'm sure they were pretty done with it, or playing the new games that they were still coming out with new games.
Right.
But I'm sure they were, but I think the lifespan lasted until 91, I believe. Then the Super NES came out, and
yeah, SNES was 93, 94.
Yeah,
I think.
See, so that was already towards the end of the lifespan of the NES. So I mean, we got to enjoy it.
And that was the jump into 16-bit generation.
Yeah.
You were getting shadowing, you were getting details on the fruit, you were getting trees and all that stuff that you couldn't get just in the Mario game. And that console, man, the music, the everything, it was just unbelievable.
Yeah, and I got actually the NES Mini.
Yeah, well, I got one of not the Mini, but I got the one that was the Super Nintendo looking one of the original.
It was the Mini?
Well, I don't know what that was called. It was called
the already pre-gamed games on there?
No. Before that, way before that. Remember when the Super Nintendo had already been out, and they reinvented the old console, the old 8-bit console, and the cartridges pushed in from the top.
Oh, the top.
It
top
looked
loader.
like a mini Super Nintendo, but it was original 8-bit.
Yeah, the top loader.
I have one of those.
Oh wow.
I can't. I mean, to go through the list of them, I have a PlayStation 1 Well, actually, I gave that up to a video game store in Fresno because the PlayStation 2 plays everything that the original has.
Mm-hmm.
You got a Wii, a couple of GameCubes, at least 2 Xbox originals, 4 or 5 360s, a Wii. Did I say that one already? I think I said that one already. PlayStation 3, a PlayStation 4, 3 or 4 Xbox Ones, a brand new Xbox Series X, a PlayStation 2.
No 5 yet?
Huh?
No PlayStation 5 yet?
No. I'm a sucker for Halo.
No.
I'm a huge Halo fan. Master Chief, Cortana, all that shit.
Right. Did you watch the series?
No, Red versus Blue or
no, the Halo series. No, Red versus Blue.
Well, when Rooster Teeth did that was the shit because in Halo 2 they had that glitch where it did the head nod so they could make it look like they were talking. These dudes were badass. I don't know if they're still doing it or not, but they had their own little closet. This dude converted part of his bedroom closet into a studio with soundproof padding and all that, and they were doing recordings, and they started out in their house just like we're doing now. That shit was funny as hell.
The Red vs. Blue, I binge watched the shit out of that on YouTube, and then at one point they actually had it on Netflix.
Really?
The whole series, so I just put it on.
Oh my god, I would love to own that.
That shit was just so funny.
That was the best show ever.
Yeah, and with the Rooster Teeth, they're still doing content. They're doing Death Battle.
Really?
So what they do is they take 2 characters from like anime, manga, or like fan matchups they want to do. So they go through and analyze their powers, their abilities, their weaknesses, and these are during their history. They talk about how these characters came about and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And like they did Darkseid from DC versus Thanos from Marvel, or or who would win a fight between Goku and Superman. And
that'd be a good one.
Yeah, they did like 2 or 3 of those because there was a lot of talk who was more powerful, Goku or Superman.
Well, it depends on how many times he goes Super Saiyan on you.
Yeah, but I mean, with the sun, I mean, Superman's pretty much overpowered. So,
well, Superman came from another planet.
Well, so
Goku came from Japan, right?
He was created in Japan.
I'm just saying. He was created in Japan.
But,
but mythologically, he came from Japan, right?
But it's or is it just like Godzilla?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, see. But if you get a chance, Death Battles, they have all kinds. They're really in depth, and then they do like the animated fight at the very end, and I liked it for like the history because this shit, like, I'm learning something too about some of these different characters. As I was watching some on, I forgot the characters, but it was the dude from My Hero Academia, which I never watched. But then after watching that episode, I'm like, okay. So I started giving it a shot, and I don't know, I'm maybe 8-9 episodes in, so I'm kind of still. It hasn't really caught me, but I'm still gonna watch it.
Yeah.
And they throw in a dude from One Piece, just all these different animes and, with similar abilities, and they match them up in the fight.
Yeah. Yeah, I learned a lot of history stuff from those epic rap battles.
Mm-hmm.
I like those. I know that when I was studying like all the Assassin's Creed series, people were getting they were passing history tests based on the accuracy of this game. This game is so accurate historically. The events, the clothing, the articles, the items stolen, the ships, the bow, the sterns, all that shit, that people are passing history exams on it.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of the kids holding up his test, standing next to his teacher, and it's just a picture, but the teacher's holding up a sign that says, "Hey, everybody go play Assassin's Creed. It's historically accurate." Yeah,
I know they won some awards, for the historical accuracy, and I guess I think it was either the first or second one. What you do, like an assassination on whatever character and stuff.
Yeah.
And well, it's, I guess, at that exact time or whatever is historically accurate too, when if they were assassinated or killed at that time or something. I believe so. I know because the accuracy is like super, like almost dead on from, what history or whatever they know.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really tell me this from books. I mean, it's history, so...
Well, it puts a visual representation on it, too,
Right.
because I'm a visual learner. I'm a hands-on learner.
Yeah, I'm the
If
exact
you give me
same
a
way.
word problem in math, 2 trains leave it, whatever. I can't do that shit. Don't fucking do that to me.
They're going to crash at the end. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, well, either way, I mean, now that I'm older and I've built things and I've wired things, I have more questions than ever. Like, okay, what are the brakes like on this? How much power is it going? What if it starts off slower than the other one? There's 1,000 and like you can't answer that shit to me. You can't.
Oh, so you're listening to our last episode while you're at work?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I'm up on a ladder, like a 10-foot ladder. I got a hammer in my hand, and I'm chiseling out these can lights, right? Because they stucco the hole. Mm-hmm. They put the can light trim in first, or the base piece. And so then they do their wire mesh around it, and then they put the stucco on there. Well, they'll trim it as quickly as they can with their big flat pieces of metal that they use to scrape it. And our job is to go back through and, you could use a hammer, a chisel, screwdriver, whatever, but I'm chiseling it with this hammer, and I've gotten pretty good at it to where I can make circles and squares and all that shit with my hammer out of stucco, breaking it out, chiseling in just the right area. So I'm doing that, and I know the circuit's on. I know the power's on because I wanted it on since all the makeup was done on the light, and I just got to plug it in and put the trim in once I chisel out the concrete enough or the stucco enough. So I'm doing that, listening to our podcast, doing a little, R&D on ourselves to see how our quality is.
Some mental notes.
Just kind of making sure I don't, triple repeat myself over stuff we've already talked about or whatever. And I'm tapping on this thing, and all of a sudden I hear this like that, and I'm like, oh shit, it's fucking live. I almost fell off the ladder, then I realized, oh, that's me taking a rip of my vape. Like a fucking idiot. I almost shit myself. I'm sitting there like, and then internally I did this big twitch, and externally I'm just like, I just kind of flinched. But I almost shit myself because I was like, that's it. Okay, all right. Pay attention. You're listening to yourself take a rip of a vape. You're not even touching any wires right now. And it sounded just like when you short something out. It was like, I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, no, I'm at work and I get this tag and I'm like, what the hell? And I just started busting up laughing. Luckily nobody was around. But, this was, we haven't even opened the store yet, so it's, whatever. I'm just rolling. I'm like, what a
You didn't open the store yet? My day was almost half over. Dude, I get up at like 4:30 most of the time if I'm not like hitting the snooze button.
Yeah, that's the
And
time I usually get
I'm
up.
on the job site, already got my tool bags on in the shop working at 6.
Oh, yeah.
I'm already rolling.
I wake up about 4:30 and I start my shift at 5.
Oh, yeah. So you start a little early. We were starting at 4:30, getting off at 1. No, I'm sorry. We were starting at 4:30, getting off at 3:30 or 2:30, and working 4 10-hour days and then an 8-hour Friday. So we were getting 48 hours a week just to play catch-up because the job was so behind from all the other trades taking too long to put walls up and shit like that.
Right.
So we were making some mad money. But then we came through and we just kind of whooped ass on everything, and now we're caught up. So we went back to 40 hours. I was like, no, fuck that shit. I like that money, son. I'm getting off when it's still daylight, and I get my Saturday, Sunday off with 48 hours. Fuck you. I want to keep it.
Yeah, usually I have Saturdays, Sundays off, but this coming week I'll be working on Sunday.
Oh, because you're going to go...
I'm going to heading off to Vegas. So
You're
I'll
heading
be
off to Vegas for your brother's birthday.
Yeah, so I'll be having Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday off. And I talked to the boss, and she was like, oh, I was going to ask if you wanted to work anyways. I was like, well, yeah, that's no problem. I can come in Sunday, and still get my 40 for the week. And then the week after,
Yeah.
and I'll work, like maybe that Saturday. That way I'm not losing out on anything because right now I need every penny. Cause,
Right.
especially going into Vegas. I mean, it could get a little expensive, but
Well, that's the old saying. You drive into Vegas in a Cadillac, you leave on a Schwinn bicycle. So yeah. Well, speaking of so when we were talking about Xboxes, when was it the 360? I think when that one came out in Germany, though. So listeners that we have in Germany, they had an Xbox building built out there, and they got to test the system before we did.
oh, wow.
And then PlayStation, if we ever get listeners in Japan, there's a PlayStation building, a Sony PlayStation building in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
They get to test that system out before it releases to market because they want to work out all the bugs.
All right.
My question is, why can't we get that shit here? I'm not saying PlayStation because I know that's Japan and I gotta respect that, and it gives me a good reason to get a plane ticket over there and enjoy all the cool shit in Japan.
Oh yeah.
But Xbox was made here in America. Why can't we get a test building? I mean, come on, man.
Because we're probably too critical about how shit is.
Well, the internet will eat you alive no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and speaking of Japan, I had seen this video on Facebook or something. There's like this little, I don't know if it's a hotel or something, but it's like you rent a room. It's a giant library that you can sleep in.
What?
So you have all these like different mangas and all this different literature, and you have your own little room that you could just read, and you spend whatever for the
this
night.
is in Japan?
Yes, in Japan.
What the fuck?
I mean, that would be cool to read some of these old like dope ass mangas and
Yeah.
and stuff like that, and that'd be something to.
If you go to Barnes and Noble, I think the closest one is Fresno or Visalia.
I thought they all closed.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No, because I don't know. The last time I went there, I went and got that 4-part series of books up there, and they had that coffee shop in there, and they had all the anime books in there.
Mm.
And in the manga ones, you read them from right to left,
Right.
because that's how they read in Japan. Is from right to left,
Yeah.
and we read left to right. I don't know how much of the world reads left to right, but when I picked up the book, I'm like, okay, this fucker's backwards, and then I look at it, and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
That's right. They read right to left. How fucking cool is that?
Yeah, no,
they keep it as close to the culture as possible, and I love that.
They have some at DJ's
Collectibles.
comics. Yeah. They've seen some of the mangas in there. I think they had like Death Note and some other ones too. Like, had me really interested, but I really don't want to read that.
Yeah,
read everything backwards.
I need a book with subtitles. Okay, I can't read the characters.
Yeah.
So we did get a chance to go hang out at this Mexican joint in Armona, El Pata Salada. It's right over there by, what's that gas station?
It's All-Star
gas station. Right across the street, there's that post office in Armona. I always go for asada first because I figure if you're going to fuck up asada, you're going to fuck up chili verde, all this other stuff. And they didn't. It tasted great.
Yeah.
I was pretty impressed. It was more than I expected to pay, but I left fat and happy.
Oh, you're just fat anyway, so.
Hey, man. It's Gordo season, ladies. Hit me up. But I know that you know when their happy hour is.
Yeah, so they have a happy hour, 3 to 5, 2 for 1 beers. Then on Wednesdays they have their.
So it's happy hour like that every day?
Yeah.
Okay, and then Wednesdays is what?
Wednesdays they're like their Taco Wednesdays because they're closed on Tuesdays. But then on Wednesdays, their tacos are 2 for 1. So usually the tacos are like $2.99, so you're paying $1.50 for a taco. So,
So they do Taco Tuesday on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? That's discrimination. They should just do tacos every day. Taco specials every day. For all of y'all listening, we do have an email set up now for your questions, ideas that you want to pitch us to talk about, things you want to hear about. Our email is readyplayerquestions@gmail.com. If you guys want to write us and say, hey, you guys didn't mention this video game system. Did you guys ever see this movie? Hit us up. We'll put it down in our notes and we'll bring it up. We'll do a little research. We'll We can't promise we'll answer all your questions and emails, but we'll do our damn best to give it one hell of a shot, and we'll shout you out on air, and just make sure it's in email we can pronounce, because I'm horrible at it. But if you're from a different country or different state and you hear us, shoot us a hi, say what's up, let us know you're there, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, and we'll try and probably answer some of them the next episode.
Right.
And so that sounds starting to come a little bit more professional, even though we still don't know what the fuck we're doing half the time.
No. I mean, I spent a little time the other night, and I set us up with a legit certified email. We got. I mean, if we're gonna be where we want to be, we need to start counting on ourselves. This is work. We're putting in work on this. We're not just sitting there. We think about this damn near every day. I got notepads and envelopes and junk mail I'm writing on all over the place till I get my proverbial shit together and start, organizing it properly.
I know. I just have one little notebook, but just
right.
Just from these past few weeks that we've been doing these, just writing down whatever comes to my head, or if I see something on TV, I'm like, okay, no, that could be something we talk about. Speaking of movies and stuff, so the Grammys just happened last Sunday.
Grammys is music,
no? Not Grammys, the Oscars. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah, the Oscars. I don't know why I keep thinking.
Well, we talk about everything, so you could have been having. We did talk about a lot of music the last 3 episodes, so maybe that was on your mind.
So in the Oscars, there's that movie, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Oh, I fucking love that movie.
Really?
Dude, that is awesome. I own that shit.
Yeah, see, I have not seen it yet.
Holy fuck, you got to see that. That is fucking bananas.
But they were the big winners of the night.
That movie was awesome.
So they won for
Studio 24 or A24 or whatever it is.
Yeah,
dude.
They won for Best Picture. They won with Best Actress, Michelle Yall.
Oh yeah, she's awesome. She's actually a real actress, and you don't realize it until the movie comes out.
Yeah. What is she in?
Oh shit! I don't know.
Was it Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon?
Oh yeah. That's right.
She was in that years ago.
That movie was awesome too, by the way.
Best Supporting Actress, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, that's right. I forgot she was in there.
Best Director. I didn't write down his name, but then they won for Best Original Screenplay, Best Film Editing, and one of my favorites was the Best Supporting Actor, Ki Hui Kwan.
Was that the
That was that Asian dude.
The husband?
I don't know. I never seen the movie, so but most people would know him as Data from the Goonies.
Get the fuck out of here. That was Data?
He was Short Round in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Holy shit, I loved Data when I was watching the Goonies.
Yeah.
He had all the fucking gadgets. You know how much shit I tore apart at my fucking house and had rolls of tape that... Oh my god, my brain just went full circle. My kid found the Christmas wrapping tape and he's been taping shit all over the place. Holy shit. Yeah. Because of that kid in the movie Data, I thought he was the coolest motherfucker ever.
Yeah, so... and he won the Best Supporting Actor, and during his speech, he even gave a shout out to Jeff B. Cohen, who was Chunk in the Goonies, because after all these
years, he did
the
truffle shuffle, baby.
After all these years, they're still really good friends.
Yeah,
and I had just seen something on Facebook too. I guess they were at some convention, and Harrison Ford was outside of his room, and so he's thinking, okay, so he's probably he doesn't know who I am because he hasn't seen me since he was a kid.
Yeah,
and he's like, oh, he's probably thinking I'm some fan that wants me to leave. So Harrison Ford looks at him and it's like, are you Short Round? And he just looked at him and he said, yeah, that's me, Indy. And he just felt like a kid. They showed the pictures of them together because they hadn't seen each other in probably 30-something years, probably more.
Wow.
But yeah, and then the Best Actor Oscar went to Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser. You mean Brendan Fraser?
Brendan Fraser.
I fucking love that dude. Ever since Encino Man.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that dude did everything.
Yeah. George of the Jungle.
Yeah.
And then the Mummy movies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he won for The Whale.
You know, I was reading up on him, and he had no idea he had a cult following. He thought he was just not loved as an actor anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he was getting, they did a guild or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They did something to where he was in the audience, and he was literally in tears. This was before the Oscars. He was in tears because he didn't realize that everybody loved this dude, and everybody still followed him and wanted him to do more movies. And he kind of just stopped because he didn't think anybody wanted him to do them anymore.
Yeah, I heard something about that too. That's why he hadn't. But this was like his big comeback.
Yeah, he should have never left. I love that guy in the movie.
Yeah, I heard the movie was really sad, but I mean, it looks good. And
yeah, I was gonna buy that and watch it, but then I was like, I don't know if I'm ready for that shit.
Yeah,
right
I don't want to see anything really depressing. Or,
yeah, I did, however, buy that movie, The Gentleman. Have you ever seen that?
Mm-mm.
Colin Farrell. Let's see, who's that guy who goes, all right, all right, all right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I can't.
Charlie Hunnam from Sons of Anarchy.
Sons of Anarchy, right.
He's in there, and then that dude who does all right is bothering me.
Yeah, and I cannot think of his name.
Yeah,
but he won an Oscar too a few years back, I believe.
But that movie, The Gentleman,
mm-hmm.
Holy fuck, dude, that movie is fucking awesome. I mean, it's legit. Yeah. I couldn't stop watching it.
Yeah, that's probably one I'm gonna have to.
It's at least like a 2-hour movie, but it was it's another who did that movie Snatch with Brad Pitt and all them.
Oh,
let me find it real quick because that's bothering me.
Yeah, Snatch. That was another good movie.
Let's see here. Open up my Vudu real quick. And then I was sitting there and I forgot what I was doing. I was going through iFunny or something like that, and this clip popped up. And let's see here. Matthew McConaughey, Charlie Hunnam, Guy Ritchie directed it.
Guy Ritchie,
I fucking love his movies, dude.
He did Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
With Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law.
Yeah, Colin Farrell's in there. Henry Golding. I don't know. I don't remember what I've seen him in. Was it a James Bond movie or something? I can't remember, but he did fucking fantastic. Oh, he was in Crazy Rich Asians. He was the dude who played Snake Eyes in G.I. Joe movies.
Who was that?
Snake Eyes?
No.
Oh, Henry Golding? That guy right there?
Henry Golding.
Yeah.
Oh, he played in the Snake Eyes movie.
Yeah, and the G.I. Joe series, the Snake Eyes spinoff or whatever it was.
I was thinking of the other guy that plays Snake Eyes from the G.I. Joe movies.
Yeah, and then the other day I found a movie called My Teacher's Wife, and it had Tia Carrere in there.
Okay.
And she's like,
Wayne's World.
I watched the preview for this, and I was like, okay, is this going to be kind of drama, suspenseful thing? And on Pi Day, which was March 14th,
right.
They had this movie on sale for $2.99. Anything, it was like, all movies were like $3.14 or higher or something like that, and this one came in just under that. And there's this smoking hot scene where she's just like getting all on top of this student, and I'm just like, yep, I'm totally have a thing for her. I'm downloading this movie, buying it.
Well, ever since Wayne's World.
Oh, yeah. She was smoking hot. I couldn't stop watching that movie. And then I found today, it was still a lot of money. It was like $13-14 for this movie. But I found Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead.
Oh, wow.
I bought that shit on Vudu.
No, that is cool.
Yeah, that was a good movie. And then I bought the other day The Prestige. It had Hugh Jackman and Christian Bale in there.
Right.
And then
that's the one about the magicians, right?
Yeah, Michael Caine's in there, Scarlett Johansson, that one chick, Rebecca Hall, David fucking Bowie's in there, and he plays Nikolai Tesla.
Oh shit!
I was like, fucking A. My electrical hero Tesla, and David Bowie's in there, which David Bowie's a badass actor, and he did music and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I was depressed when that guy died. He was a fucking legend. But yeah, I couldn't. Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw the preview to that, I thought it was going to tie into multiverse comic books or something, and it was a standalone multiverse movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember watching it. We bought it on Vudu and watched it here, and me and my kid are just going. There's some of the most. I don't want to give anything away because I don't want you to not be surprised when you see it.
Yeah, no, I want.
But some of these scenes are so fucking bananas, dude. You can't look away for a minute, a second. You got to make sure to lock the fucking door, tell everybody shut the fuck up, and just focus on this shit. It is legendary. I love this movie.
Yeah, that's something I'm definitely have to check out. Because I remember when I first seen the previews, I'm like, what the hell? But then I was seeing it like every commercial on YouTube or something. I was like, okay, skip. I've already seen it.
Yeah.
But then I never.
I did that with Licorice Pizza, and I still haven't watched that fucking movie.
What?
Licorice Pizza.
What the fuck is that?
Dude, every movie theater I went to had a preview for it. Every YouTube thing I was watching had a preview for it. And I was like, okay, you are really bending over backwards to sell me on this. I can't stand it. Don't want to fucking see it. Maybe when it goes on sale for free on Vudu or something with ads, maybe I'll watch it, and then I'll be like, okay, maybe I should have watched it sooner.
Right.
But until then, I don't really... I saw the preview for it, and it looks like a bunch of teenage angst drama that just... They didn't really sell it right. I mean, there's a couple of good actors in there, but it's like... I don't know. Maybe it'll turn out better than the previews like American Beauty.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think I watched that movie like one time. American
Beauty? I fucking love that movie. That was good. Kevin Spacey?
Yeah, and before he fell off.
Yeah, when he was doing K-Pax and all that other cool shit.
What was that show that he had on, what was that? I think it was Showtime or...
I don't know. I was never rich enough to have cable.
This was within the past 10 years.
Like I said, I've never been... I got a Nintendo when I was fucking 10, and that shut me up for 30 fucking years.
Yeah, and still can't show you the fuck.
No, I can't shut me. That's why we're sitting here talking.
Yeah, no, he was on the show. I forgot what it was called, and it was actually really good. I think he was like a senator or something, and going up trying to become president and shit.
Oh,
it was a really good.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing about that. That was HBO or something, wasn't it?
HBO, that's what it was. Yeah.
You know what? I got HBO Max somewhere. You got that on your phone?
Yeah.
You should look that up. I want to know what that is.
Oh shit.
So big news. We have a concert we're going to tonight. That's why we're recording a little early today. Hopefully, I can get this uploaded as soon as possible. It's going to be here in Hanford, California. Where's the show at again? You know what? I'll find it right now. But it's a ska rock concert, and I'm itching to go to it because I know I had mentioned it on the air, and your cousin was like, "Hey, tell them that we're gonna have a show at this, and this," and so it's gonna be. I got it right here. It's gonna end of the season. Kill Mike Love Out of the Ring at 9002 14th Ave, Hanford, from 6 to 10. And it's sponsored by Bad Dreams Vintage and Tattoo Parlor. So we're going to go watch that.
Yeah, no, my cousin, he said, no, he's after listening to our last episode, he's following us, and he's like, oh, I heard Mike wants to go to the concert. And
yeah, I need music in my life, man.
So then he sent me the little promo thing, the flyer, so I was like, okay,
the last time I went to a local concert deal here in town, I went with Anthony's mom to out there where they have the new Little Caesars.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot what band was playing, but before that, it was in high school when Nathan Swift and me and Jenny Ludke and everybody were going to the Bastille.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Nathan Swift's grandpa apparently owned the Bastille. I didn't know this at the time, but we went there and we used to see this band called Advo Asks. I used to have a red T-shirt. It was like $10 for a shirt and $10 for a CD, and I managed to get $10 together somehow and got a T-shirt. And I don't know what happened to that T-shirt, but they used to have this song called the Beer Song, and it got requested every fucking time we were there. And then I guess a couple of the band members, they had their what do they say, professionally creative differences.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that motherfucker. I just saw him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been fighting that battle for a couple years over there. But yeah, I guess they had creative differences and couldn't get along and broke up the band. And I was like, God dang it, because I thought it was pretty awesome. House of Cards, yes, House of Cards. That was a good show. I didn't get to see it, but I saw clips of it, and I was like, holy fuck, Kevin Spacey's a badass.
Yeah, I watched most of it, and but then I think after all the controversy with him, being
there's a whole lot of political shit that I could delve into, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, but no, it was a show that I actually enjoyed. Just something different too. When besides all the comedies and action shit I always watch, it was something drama, and it actually had me intrigued. So
yeah,
it was something I kind of enjoyed.
Fuck, dude, I ordered me a new belt. And this was not just any belt. I was doing homework on concealed carry belts, and I paid $77. That's including shipping for this belt. And let's see, I got a piece of it. I had to cut some of it off. That's the fucking belt. It's got a plastic core. It's reinforced.
Wow.
The idea behind the belt is it doesn't twist, so when you have your concealed carry, it doesn't flop around on you.
Uh-huh.
And you don't have to adjust your pants 7, 8, 10, 20,000 times a day, which I was doing because I was using, when you go down and you buy those cargo shorts?
Uh-huh.
That's the difference in belt right there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Not as flexible, not as, and this belt is cloth.
Yeah.
And so, imagine if we got hit with this as a kid. Holy fuck, dude. I mean, I got my ass whooped as a kid. That's why I'm a productive member of society now, but Jesus de freaking Cristo, dude.
Yeah.
That's a reason I don't have an ass now. I just got a crack in my back because I got my ass whooped so much and chewed off so much.
Yeah, I think that's what happened to me, too.
And so when my boss comes around, I'll be like, hey, if I screwed something up, you could try and chew my ass, but I don't got any ass left, so you just do your best.
Speaking to the crack.
Yeah. Talking to the crack. Sean, if you listen to this, I'm not talking shit on you. I'm just having fun.
Yeah, so we're talking about the video game stuff from our childhood. So what were some of your favorite cartoons as kids during our NES age?
Okay.
7, 8 years old.
Definitely Beetlejuice.
Uh-huh.
Definitely Sonic. Definitely Mario Brothers. I even had the Beetlejuice video game on Game Boy.
Oh, I never played it.
I don't remember how I got a Game Boy. I know my uncle, he used to be in the Air Force, so he was making bank, right? And he was buying all the new video games. I even had a Laserdisc because he bought a Laserdisc, and when DVD came out, he gave me his Laserdisc player, which if you didn't put a Laserdisc in, it was like an 8 CD changer.
Right.
I mean, I remember watching Demolition Man and having to flip that motherfucker over. I'm like, Christ almighty, this is how I got to watch a movie? But it was so cool because the digital was unbelievable.
I remember the commercials for, Laserdisc.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be all high def and, for that time.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'd say Beetlejuice. I used to watch that cartoon show a lot because I love the movie.
Yeah.
Watch the cartoon.
And it's totally different. It had no connection.
I'd have to say
whatever.
Yeah, I'd have to say Bobby's World was definitely up there.
Oh yeah, Bobby's World.
Don't you know? And his mom used to say, "Well, smack me with a wet noodle," and I was like, "What the fuck is that? Who's got spaghetti?" And they let it cool, or they're hitting them with hot spaghetti noodles that are limp, and you're just lynching each family member you got with spaghetti noodles. Like, come on, what the fuck is she trying to say?
And Howie Mandel did the voice of Bobby.
Yeah, blew my mind when I realized he was on Deal or No Deal.
Oh yeah, because he had shaved his head.
Yeah,
and not the Little Monsters.
Yeah,
too, back in the day. I never knew that was him until years and years later.
I love that movie, Little Monsters.
Oh yeah, me too. Fred Savage.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, and don't forget Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh my god, dude, that is, yeah.
I
love that show.
One of my probably one of my all-time favorites. And we just watched all these cartoons as kids, but you don't. Would you be able to tell the actor behind the voice?
Okay, well, for years I would watch Batman the Animated Series and love the voice of the Joker and the Batman. For years, didn't know who they were.
Yeah.
And then one day I found out.
Yeah, he had Rob Conroy. Oh, right? Kevin Conroy.
Yeah, end up being.
And then Mark Hamill.
Yeah, Mark Hamill. You know, Luke Skywalker was the voice of the Joker. Yeah. Holy fucking shit, bro. When I found that out, I was like, God dang it, that is amazing. And then I got to see video of him doing the voice, and he's producing this Joker voice. It should not be able to come out of that body.
Yeah.
He does not look like somebody who could do that voice.
Yeah.
It blew my fucking mind.
Yeah. And,
he's my favorite Joker voice of all time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's some that's been close. I've seen some of the other movies that he wasn't involved in. And probably my favorite was The Killing Joke.
Killing Joke. Oh, you know what? I never got to see that. It's on my wish list on Vudu. Every time I get paid or I get an income tax, I always forget to buy that fucking movie, and I want to see it.
I would let you borrow it. I have it on DVD, but I don't know if...
you may never get it back, because if I like it that much and then I forget about it, like, I borrowed... Okay, Anthony's mom, her brother, let me borrow that movie called The Help.
Mm-hmm.
I still have the DVD somewhere out there in the living room. It's been 10 years. So, Paul, Pete, if you guys are listening, I have your movie. You swing by anytime. I'll promise I'll give it back to you. I didn't keep it on purpose, but that's how it happens. It's like a vacuum trap over here. You let me borrow something, you might not get it back. My buddy Robert solved that problem. He says, you know what I do is I take a picture of them holding it up, the tool or whatever that they borrow. So when I borrowed his snap ring pliers to work on my truck, I flipped them off while I'm holding it up, and I was like, how does that work, fucker?
Yeah, no, The Killing Joke was a graphic novel.
So what, like an adaptation of the comic book?
No, it was it's just pretty much like a Joker story or a Batman story, but they say it's probably the closest thing you'll get to an actual origin Joker story.
See, now that would be the fucking pinnacle of the Joker series. I gotta have one of those. But I want Heath Ledger to do it, and we can't fucking have that now.
But I think I found it at a comic book store or something. We might have been up in Manteca visiting my aunt, or I could have found it here, and I read it, and it just so goes back and forth. And Joker, they're talking about, Joker's talking, and he's talking about his origin. He's like, well, when I think back on my origins, I'd like it to be multiple choice. So in all of these different comics, there's always a different origin for the Joker. So I mean, they could have all one of them could have happened, or none of them could have happened. But the whole premise is he's trying to torture Commissioner Gordon into going against what he stands for. Being like Batman, going over, not when
see, that makes a lot of sense, because I seen a clip. I can't tell if it was from the animated series or not, but there's the character who would play Robin in the cartoon, and he's talking to the guy who would be Batman, but they're not in character, and he goes, what happened to Joker? And Bruce Wayne would be walking away, and in the cartoon he stops and he looks over his shoulder, and the guy who would play Robin was like, hey, you killed him, didn't you? And Bruce Wayne doesn't say anything, and he just turns and keeps walking. He goes, I did what I had to do, kid, or something like that. And I'm like, what?
Oh, I think I seen something.
And I was like, wait a minute, whoa, where the fuck did this happen? Because I used to watch that show every day, and I didn't see this. I remember seeing Ra's al Ghul. I remember seeing Bane, when he could crank that fucking thing up and get super jacked.
Yeah, and so for The Killing Joke, one of my favorite lines...
is it Killing Joke or Killing Joker?
It's The Killing Joke.
Okay.
And one of my favorite lines, because Joker's torturing Gordon. He took some... it's been it's been out for a while, so it's a little spoiler.
Yeah.
He shoots Barbara Gordon in the torso, and he starts undressing her while taking pictures.
Oh, that dirty rat bastard.
So he's using all this to torture Gordon and stuff, and he's talking about his history, and what my favorite line is, like, all it takes is one bad day. And then that one bad day has turned him into who he is now.
That's true.
And they keep going, back to when he was supposed to be like a stand-up comedian. He ends up getting involved with the Red Hood gang, and just a bunch of different events. And then, of course, he ends up falling into the vat of chemicals by being stopped by Batman.
Yeah.
And then he turns into the Joker that we know.
Right.
But they do have another comic out. I can't remember the name, but they say this is pretty much like an origin story. But it's not the exact events that happened in The Killing Joke. I'm gonna have to look it up and come back to it.
Yeah.
Well, that's another we could talk about comics and whatever. They say it's similar events, but not the exact, and it's more of what the origin story of Joker is and what his real name is.
Ooh. Now, on that note, did you ever hear, I don't know if they ever did it, or if it's in print, or if they did some kind of adaptation into film or, animated version of it, but I heard this story about the idea that Batman is insane. He's in Arkham Asylum, and Joker is Dr. Joe Kerr.
I seen the same thing on Facebook.
And what is it? Not Commissioner Gordon, but Alfred is his dad or caretaker that put him in there.
Batman, not Superman.
No, Batman.
You said Superman first.
Did I?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, my bad. I meant Batman was in Arkham Asylum, and he's insane. And so all these attempts of him trying to get out and all this stuff are him thinking in his mind he's saving Gotham City. He's the one.
And all the villains were actually
actual doctors and trying to help him.
Harleen Quinzel, of course.
Right.
And then the Dr. Joe Kerr.
Now the only thing close to that I found was I heard about this story that is the idea behind what if Superman was born evil. And they did a movie adaptation of that called Brightburn.
Brightburn, yeah.
And I bought that, and it is fucking amazing. And I can't remember who the actress was that's in there, but they got a decent actress in there for this movie. And let's see, what's her name? Elizabeth Banks is in there. Right. And she's pretty awesome in there. And the whole idea, if you haven't seen this movie, they don't directly say this is Superman, but because I'm sure there's going to be some kind of copyright infringement or something, but he literally floats. He comes up with his own, symbol that he puts on his body. He cuts it into everybody or whatever he does when he does it, and he literally burns shit with his fucking eyes. Right. Okay? It's fucking Superman as if he decided to go rogue.
Right.
But they start off with him as a baby. He comes down from the sky. They find him in the barn in the hay. It's the whole fucking story. It's Superman, but it's not Superman.
Right, yeah.
Because he hasn't been a teenager yet. He's only young.
Right.
So I think in the movie, when all the action and shit hits the fan, he's around 12, 13, somewhere around in there. Yeah. Very young, but old enough to know he's got a choice to make.
Right. Yeah. I heard about it. I seen the trailers, and I kind of looked it up too, because that's not something that I'm really interested in going to watch. But I'll look it up on Wikipedia, check it, see what the synopsis, and then maybe
as much as we are Marvel fans and we're on Team Marvel, I guarantee you watch this, you're going to be like, yeah, DC is dark as fuck, and they did it right. Yeah. Now, if they do a sequel, a continuation, something, I would guarantee you, I would buy it. I would see it. I would pay for a ticket. I want more.
Yeah,
it was good. It was really good.
I was reading something on the synopsis or the the whole story,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess there was references to like a Wonder Woman or Aquaman or something at the end.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it's the same. Not Wonder Woman, not Aquaman.
The fuck was that?
Oh, that little bag.
Oh, I had a bag of sunflower seeds. A buddy of mine at work gave it to me, so I was like, the Spitz.
Oh yeah.
It's this cracked pepper one.
Oh.
I swear to God, you eat some of those, it tastes like steak.
I know. I've had it. My buddy.
I love
He
it.
loves those. I'm like, I'm not crazy. about
Okay,
cracked
so
pepper.
is it David? I think it's the David sunflower seed ones
Mhm.
that my buddy brought to work, and it's bacon mac and cheese. Holy fuck, dude! I'll sit there and eat the whole bag.
Yeah. See, mine were always my favorite was always the ranch.
Ranch is good. I like the sweet chili and pepper one, the purple.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That one by Spitz. Holy fuck, dude! It's not spicy, but it's like, oh my god, it's fucking good.
Yeah. 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 So I'm thinking. Speaking of sunflower seeds. The Grizzlies season is going to be starting up here the next month,
Yeah.
and I'm definitely going to the games. I've gone to probably at least one game almost every year for the past probably 3-4 years.
I was going to games when I was getting, tickets. Like, I don't know how it happened, but I was getting free tickets to everything. Rawhide out in Visalia, Grizzly up in Fresno. And then my brother David works at Freeway Toyota, and every now and then they'll give him tickets to Grizzlies games and shit. And then when I was working at Garbennet, they were giving me tickets to ball games.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, fuck, this is great. But I want to go to a major league ball game.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I want to do. Hot beer, cold hot dog. Enjoy the sounds of the ball hitting the glove, the crack of the bat, the fucking smells of the dirt and the grass. I want to experience that.
Yeah, I was able to go to 3 games last year.
Yeah, you go to opening day and for San Francisco Giants, and Metallica plays there every year.
Yeah, no, it's not opening day. It's the Metallica Appreciation.
Oh, that's it. My bad.
I've gone to
At least 2 that I know of.
I've gone to 2 of those, and never got to see them.
What? How did you get the T-shirts then?
Well, I got the T-shirts from.
I thought you said you were there when you saw them.
No, they were there, but we didn't get to see them. We were out in the parking lot queuing it up, and so I'm like, "Come on, let's go!" But my uncle bought.
I'd have fucking left everybody and went inside. Like, fuck this! I'm going to see Metallica.
Well, I was already drunk, so I didn't want to,
Yeah.
get lost and shit. And what you ended up doing, getting drunk and losing them anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, your buddies definitely told me that story. I can't let go. That was a great one about you. You paid all the money to stay in a hotel room and you ended up sleeping on the floor.
Oh yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but we go out to the coast, or they're really good guys. Those guys. We've been through a lot, all 3 of us. We call ourselves the Tres Mendejos.
Well, that's fitting for you. I don't know about them. I don't know them that well yet, but
Oh yeah, well I do. So yeah, it's pretty fitting.
yeah, it's better than Tres Panes or Tres Panochas.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So this band we're seeing tonight, who else is playing with them, or are they doing their own opening show, start to finish?
See, I'm not quite sure.
It's gonna be exciting. I hope there's an opportunity for me to get a tattoo while I'm there. That'd be cool.
No, it's I've gone to some of the concerts. I don't know if this is another band that my cousin's in, or this is his other. He's switched. He goes to different bands.
Oh, he's in a couple different bands.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly which one. If it's going to be a Life Jacket or some of the side project that he's working on.
I'm down. I just want to see some music, man.
Yeah, so yeah, it should be.
I take it back. The concert I seen before this one will be when my buddy Nathan Swift was down. He's doing a bluegrass thing. He was doing punk rock for the longest time, and now he's doing bluegrass.
Oh wow!
And I enjoy that shit. That banjo. That I like just about every version of music. When we were watching what was it? Demon Slayer?
Mm-hmm.
That beginning song, that Lisa whatever that does the song.
Yeah, I haven't watched it in a while, but yeah.
That one, I love that song. I don't understand a word she says, but it sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah, and like the was it Full Metal Alchemist, Brotherhood? One of the endings, I forgot the name of the song. I don't know what the hell they're saying, but I like the music.
You know what I'll do is I'll do the Google microphone, and it'll say at the bottom search song, and I hit that, and it plays for a second, and it'll find the song for me, and then I can go find it online.
Yeah, and I'd watch it over and over, like on YouTube, and then over in Japan they'd have some girl doing karaoke to that song.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, I am a huge fan of Japanese culture and life and all that stuff. I would live in Japan if it wasn't for one simple rule: you can't have something there.
Yeah.
I can't own a gun there.
Right.
I love my arms. I love them. They're so much fucking fun.
Yeah, and that's a topic for another day.
Yeah, I fucking love those things. Oh my god. God bless guns. They're so much fun. There's one thing I want to go to Japan for, and it's, I don't know if you've ever heard of there's a Japanese hornet, and at least 13 or so people die a year from these things. The problem with them is that the city is so close in Tokyo. It's so close to the forest. I believe it's Tokyo or it's Hokkaido. I can't remember. But if you go out into the forest, like within a mile, there's these Japanese hornets. Mm-hmm. The fucked up thing about these things is they've learned over time where human eye level is. They'll fly up to human eye level, swing their hornet's ass up at you, and spray this acidic venom in your eyes, and then you can't see, and you're running around like that fat dude in Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
And then that acid will burn your eye sockets, and they'll sting you to death.
Oh, wow.
And I want one in one of those plexiglass deals where it's dead, but it's like got its ass raised up and one of those metal pins going through it.
Oh.
That would be so fucking wicked, dude. I want one so bad, and I want to go to Japan just for that. See the Sony building.
Yeah.
I used to have a friend in high school that she was part of the foreign exchange student deal, and she went over to live in Japan, and she was talking about how the Yakuza's there, but if you don't fuck with them, they don't fuck with you. She went and ate at a McDonald's there. She said the floor is so fucking clean there. You could eat off the floor. Literally eat off the floor. The food tastes different because everything there is clean. Because everything in Japanese culture is an art, even the food.
Right.
And I was like, fuck, it drove that nail much further into me. I want to go so bad.
Right. Yeah. I seen something about like McDonald's. It was an article or something that was like different McDonald's in like other countries of the world and stuff.
Yeah, the McDonald's, the Coca-Cola, the KFCs, the Starbucks,
and well, in Vegas, they have the Coca-Cola building, and for around like $12 or something, you get six different or 8, something like that, samples of different Cokes from around the world.
Really? Holy fuck, dude!
Yeah, and that
I want to go.
And a lot of these different Cokes, oh my god, they just tasted.
Oh, you've tried them?
Horrible, yeah. Because I mean, I was in Vegas and I was visiting my little brother, so
I went to Vegas and saw Carrot Top, got drunk, took picture with a stripper, and then went home. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I got the picture on my computer somewhere. I don't know what I did with it, but when I was drunk and she was dancing on stage and the gal I had with me at the time, she goes, which one's your favorite? And I was like, ooh, that one right there. Well, I was hammered, pissed, drunk, because I got this drink that was literally, 2-3 feet tall. And then they had these test tubes full of, I don't know what the fuck kind of liquor. They turned them upside down, poured them into this slushy style drink, and I was sitting there sipping on this thing till it was gone and then chewing on the straw. And when I saw this stripper, and you get the chance to take pictures with them afterwards, they were doing a show.
Uh-huh.
And I wanted to take a picture with her. I took a picture with her, hammered drunk. She was the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life. When I sobered up and got back from the trip and we were going through our pictures, and I looked at her, I was like, she didn't look like that when I was drunk. It wasn't exactly totally a different person, but she didn't look how I saw her through my drunk eyes. And that was the first time I'd ever seen somebody and was like, wow, that's what beer goggles are like. I had no fucking idea.
Oh.
The only reference I had to that was people having it in conversation, and on The Simpsons, when Bart put on those goggles and he could also hear a different voice, and he looked at his Aunt Patty or Aunt Selma, and she goes, "How you doing, honey?" And he takes the glasses off. He goes, "What'd you say, Aunt Selma?" And she goes, "Get in the car," or something like that. And I'm like, "Whoa."
Okay, so I did find the picture from the Coke store. It's the Taste of the World.
Ooh.
So you get all these different samplers and stuff.
Okay, so read them off. I got to hear this.
So you get two trays. So there's one from Tanzania, Uganda, Madagascar, Indonesia, Korea, Thailand, China, India, Italy, Spain, Georgia, I'm gonna fuck this name. Martinez, yeah. Chile, Sweden, Peru, Honduras.
Wow.
But they have different names for these.
Wow.
Now, in Tanzania, they called it Stony Tangawizi. Uganda's Fanta Exotic Fruit Punch.
Fanta Exotic Fruit Punch. That's funny.
That sounds like a metal song.
Yeah.
Madagascar's Bonbon Angeles.
Yeah. That sounds like a sex position.
Indonesia's Fresh Tea Green Honey Tea.
Oh, no, sweetheart. No green honey tea is ever going to be like Coca-Cola. Get the fuck out of here.
Korea's Minute Maid Joy Apple Lychee. Thailand Fanta Apple Kiwi. China Smart Watermelon.
Yeah, I'm rocking with that one.
India Thumbs Up.
Thumbs up. Yeah, go India.
THUMS. Thumbs.
Thum. So it's thum.
Yeah. Italy Beverly. Spain Aquarius Libre.
Yeah, go Aquarius.
Georgia Fuse Berries Tea. The Mantinus Sunfill Black Currant.
Ooh, that sounds like a Soundgarden song.
Yeah. Chile Lift Manzana. Sweden Briar Lingonberry.
Root Blackberry.
I
don't know why it sounded German, but
Peru Inca Cola, and then Honduras Delaware Punch.
Delaware Punch.
So these are different.
That's like that reminded me of Wayne's World. Hi, I'm in Delaware.
Yes. So these are different Coca-Colas that you could try there at the spot in Vegas.
Wow.
And
how many different? Well, that's the different names from it, but they do it in different countries. I mean, you think about it, like saccharin, sugar, is different here because there's certain things they'll let us put into our bodies here. They won't let you put into your bodies in other countries, like certain sugars or wheats or whatever. They're banned in those countries because it's not good. Let's see, what's this? Oh yeah, oh yeah. You got a picture of one with the Tiggo bitties.
Yeah, me and my baby brother.
Damn, he's taller than you.
Yeah, he's taller than my older brother.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for bad decisions. That's probably why I'm not financially allowed to go to Vegas that often. I get in trouble sitting here chasing myself around the house playing hard to get, let alone go to Vegas. Fuck.
What are you talking about? You're really hard to want.
No, trust me, brother. I stay home for a reason.
Yeah, no shit. Because you got nothing else to do. You got a kid to take care of.
You know, I'm messing around with 3 different chicks right now. Emma, Jean, and Ari. Imaginary.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I had to think about that one for a minute.
Yeah. You know what do you hear about that drummer that had twin daughters? You know what he named them?
What?
Anna 1, Anna 2.
Yeah.
So, you mentioned that when you're in Vegas, You are gonna sneak off and go see who?
Yeah, so I was watching Mike Tyson's podcast because he has his own podcast.
Yeah, that dude's. I feel totally different about him than I used to like 20 years ago.
Yeah, and I forgot. It's called Hot Boxing.
Yeah.
And he gets Wiz Khalifa. You get all these different.
Well, he grows his own weed. He has his own company. All that shit.
That's all they do. The whole thing. So my buddy sent me a link, and the Undertaker's there, and Mike Tyson. He was a big fan of wrestling. He was talking about no wrestlers from the 60s, 70s, and Undertaker's like, holy shit, you actually know your stuff. And then, during the Attitude Era, Mike Tyson was a referee for the championship match between Stone Cold Steve Austin and Shawn Michaels.
Right.
And so, he's interviewing Undertaker, and Undertaker's talking about his career, what his thoughts was when he threw Mick Foley off of the Hell in a Cell. And, so he's talking about his whole career. And then at the end, Mike Tyson was plugging him. He's like, hey, so, what do you have going on? And he's like, well, I have this show that's called The One Dead Man Show. And all it is just him talking about his life, his career, and stories that, he's never, said in public. But now that he's, retired.
Yeah, he kind of did that on Joe Rogan's podcast where he's talking about his broken orbital socket and all that.
Yeah. And so he was like, oh, yeah. So, he's plugging these. He's like, yeah, no, I'll be in Las Vegas on March 24th, which is the exact same day I'm going to be there. But it's my brother's birthday, but my sister told me, if you don't go, you're going to kick yourself in the ass for the rest of your life, because how many more times do you have to see your favorite wrestler of all time, even though he's not active wrestling, but to be able to say you saw him and hear some of his stories? I mean, that's fucking... Yeah, so I was like, okay, so I talked to my uncle, I talked to our buddy that's going, and our buddy, he's no wrestling fan, he's always liked Undertaker too, and I told him, and he was like, well, yeah, you know what, hey, I'm down, let's go. I mean, I looked it up, tickets were like $50, and I'm just like, shit, okay, so I keep looking, because, the 24th is coming up next week. So it looks like it's something we're definitely going to do. So I know my brother wants to, because it's my brother's actual birthday, and it's Undertaker's actual birthday.
Get the fuck out of here. They were born on the same day?
He's going to be performing, doing the show in Vegas. So he's doing it on his birthday, on my brother's birthday.
Wow.
So they share a birthday, and I share a birthday with Hulk Hogan. So
there you
go. So I know my brother wants to go out to a nice fancy dinner. My sister helped me get a couple outfits.
There you
go. So those are coming in tomorrow. So I'm pretty much set. So probably go to this dinner. My brother's gonna be with a bunch of his friends too. So I think me and my buddy and my uncle can sneak away and go watch it. We're in Vegas, so it's gonna go to sleep early. We'd always catch up with them later.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is something definitely. That I'm dying to go, and I'm gonna do my damnedest. I keep looking up, and there's still tickets, not sold out. So as it gets closer to the date, I'm gonna keep checking. And
one thing I always liked about the Undertaker is when I was watching him before I quit watching wrestling, is I was watching him, and when he would walk out to the stage, you couldn't tell he was walking. It looked like he was gliding across the floor. It was so fucking cool.
Yeah. Yeah, he's always been one of my favorites, and I know we talked about it a little bit last week, and my friend William, yesterday was 6 years since he had passed.
Yeah,
and last time I saw him was April of 17, and this was coming up on WrestleMania. Undertaker was gonna have a big match. So, we're talking, we're going to barbecue, hang out, watch WrestleMania, like we used to do when we were younger. And it's like, yeah, cool. So, when he passed, I was like, okay. So I ended up going to some other friends of mine, and we're watching WrestleMania. And they're a couple, so they're sitting on the long couch, and I'm over sitting on a 2-seater. And so, that he was fighting Bray Wyatt, and, he did his entrance, and then here comes Undertaker. You hear the gong, the gong. And, then here comes his music, starts up, and I'm just sitting there watching it, and I feel something like sitting next to me or something. I'm like tripping. I'm like, what the hell? And I look, nobody's sitting next to me.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, I kind of like got teary eyed because I was thinking, that's William. He's sitting next to me, doing exactly what we talked about to watch. The Undertaker match.
Yeah.
And so speaking of Vegas, so I'm gonna be gone next Friday. So we're probably gonna have to do an episode earlier in the week if you schedule.
Yeah, what day do you want to do it? Because we can, if we record it early, I can always release it that Friday normal time.
Yeah.
If you want, or we can release it early.
Yeah. I'd say we can release it early, and then once I get back, we go back to Fridays.
Or we just release it early or record it early, and then. I just release it that Friday. That way, people who are listening and following, know to listen in at the normal time.
Right. Yeah. No. Either one. But works for me. So I'm thinking, Wednesday, Thursday. I don't know how early we're gonna be leaving on Friday.
Okay, so you leave on Friday, so Wednesday's the last day to record.
Probably Wednesday, probably the best.
Or if you want, we can record this Sunday.
Well, I'm working Sunday.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
And
what time do you get off Sunday?
2:00. But my uncle's gonna be having a barbecue. Him and my aunt gonna take Grandma to church, and then Grandma's gonna be at my uncle's.
Oh, okay.
So I haven't seen Grandma in a while. So
yeah. No, go handle family
so
stuff.
Be able to,
we'll just we'll come home and crank it out Wednesday, and then release it on Friday.
Yeah.
No big deal. Yeah. Normally, folks, we're having beer while we do this, but given that it's St. Patrick's Day, you're probably gonna have a beer when we go to the show.
Probably.
I'm kind of glad you didn't bring any today because I can't have any and then go out. Because if we're staying here, I can have all the beer I want. But given that I carry, I can't leave the house with it.
Right.
And it's not something I want to risk.
Yeah. So.
I'd rather enjoy and appreciate the music. And, if I like it sober, I'm definitely going to like it drunk.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But hopefully they get their music out there on Pandora or something, or they have CDs to buy or something. Because today's fucking payday, and I got money to spend. I'll buy some music, son.
Yeah. Well, you can look them up. This is my cousin's his band, Life Jacket. They're on Spotify.
Yes,
so you could find their music on there.
If they're on Pandora, I'm definitely gonna put them on my channel list.
Yeah, Pandora, I'm not too sure, but Spotify, I know for sure.
Metalachi's on Pandora. Believe it or not.
Yeah, that's actually one of my stations.
Yes, I listen to it all the time.
Oh yeah, and it's funny because there'd be one of their songs, then out of nowhere it would be some Spanish song.
Yeah,
it's the song from Desperado.
Yeah, Canción del Mariachi.
Yeah,
I love that song by them.
Oh yeah,
because they mentioned their own band name in the song. They wrote it in there at the right time.
Well,
and then Give Me Some Chon Chon. I fucking love that song. That one's hilarious.
Yeah, when I when that song, but I'll hear like two different versions of that song from Desperado.
Well,
and then they'll, of course, Santana will come on too, or something.
Well, the song that I like that they did the spaghetti western version of in Kill Bill was Malagueña Salarosa. I love that song.
Oh yeah,
they did a electronic guitar version in there, and it's fucking killer, dude. It elevates the song.
Yeah, and there's they'll play the Spanish version of Hotel California.
Ooh, yeah. I like their version of Hot for Teacher.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And then, because at the beginning, if you're watching the music video on YouTube, it's the one of the, what is it, the bass player? He comes out and his neighbor's like a clown, a payaso.
Yeah.
And he's walking out, he goes, "Stupid clown, don't cross this fucking line, stupid clown. Don't throw any parties at my house, and he gets on his bike and rides away, and the clown's like, wow, wow, with his little horn.
Yeah, I think I've seen those.
I fucking love that one.
Yeah, and well, we talked about Max Sabbath.
Max Sabbath.
They were the food.
Dude, that song that they did, oh my god, that thing is fucking killer.
Yeah, and Ozzy gave them their blessing. I've seen was the video Ozzy like seen him they performed.
Yeah, he performed. Yeah, they performed for him.
And
He's sitting in the audience watching him.
And he's like,
yeah,
holy shit, that's pretty fucking
that's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, and another band that I actually like, Okilly Dokilly.
Oh my god, I forgot you told me about that. The Ned Flanders band.
The Ned Flanders metal band.
Yes, correct.
They have
Ned Flanders metal band.
They have a song called White Wine Spritzer. So, and where they got that name was from that episode when
he got drunk in Vegas.
Yes.
I'll have a white wine spritzer, spritzer. And he wakes up married to some fucking Darlene or whatever the fuck her name was.
And the kids are calling her Vegas mom.
Oh my god, that shit was good. Oh fuck.
Yeah. So I mean, and I've been listening to them, and I guess they tour with all three. Max Sabbath, Okilly Dokilly. They tour with Metalachi.
Really? I've never seen them at any of their shows.
Yeah, well, it's usually like back east or
of
something.
Of course, we don't get shit like that. We don't get good shit in California. We're you sneeze and you get taxed out here, man.
Yeah, pretty much.
This state is dying, bro. I can't wait to get the fuck out of here.
And but it's funny because the way I found out about these bands was after we went and see Metalachi at the Visalia Fox Theater, and that was freaking a great show.
Did I tell you I got that poster board from that show?
No.
Dude, my brother Dennis, my buddy Dennis, he worked for Kroger, and they do demolition in the concrete and stuff like that. He was demolizing buildings that I would go through and do remodels for. And he was doing some job out there in Visalia, and in the alleyway between whatever this job site was and that Fox Theater, they had put not cardboard, not paper, corrugated plastic with the Metalachi sign printed on there from the show we were fucking at.
Oh shit.
And he found it in the alleyway. He went back there. I guess they had the porta potties there or something, or there was trash cans for the concrete or something. He went back there and he seen that sign and he's seen the dates and he sends me a picture of it. And he goes, hey, when did you see, or no, he texts me. He goes, hey, when did you see Metalachi out here? I said, oh, like February 26th or something like that, or 13th or whatever it was. And he goes, and then he sends me a picture. He goes, was it this show? And I was like, holy shit. He goes, do you want it? I said, fuck yeah.
Yeah, no, I still have...
he fit that thing in his little car and brought it to my fucking house that day. And it's in my garage right now. I treasure that thing a lot.
I still have pictures that we took. And then when we got pictures, took pictures with the band.
Yeah, when we met El Cucuy. And I got to take pictures of Kyla Vera. Oh, my God. Kyla Vera, if you're listening, you are so fucking fine.
Yeah,
oh, my God.
I got the video from some of their sets. So
you know what I'd like to have is a copy of her doing the Metallica 1 version on violin when we were there, because she literally folded herself in half. She folded backwards, playing this thing like a fucking savage, dude. Oh my god,
yeah, smoking
hot, talented, and she's in a band that does metal music with mariachi instruments. That's fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, and so I was after the concert, I was looking them up on YouTube and actually checking them out. Yeah, and then I'm kind of scrolling while the video's playing, and then see this Max Sabbath, and I'm like, the fuck, see this weird looking grimace fucking looking motherfucker, and I'm like, the hell. And then from there, it just kind of spiraled, and then like Okilly Dokilly, I'm like, what the hell? But I see this guy dressed as in the green Ned Flanders sweater, and I'm like, what the heck? So then from there, and I started listening to them. So I got them on my Pandora too.
Yeah,
I listen to all kinds of different stuff like in the morning.
There's a metal band I like that's called Unleash the Archers.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen them?
No, I don't.
They do some like, it's almost like a speed metal, like the Brittany Slay is the lead singer.
Mm-hmm.
And she has these killer fucking vocals, right? Well, I'm getting hooked, right? Very fucking hooked. And I'm watching all their videos on YouTube. And they did a song, and it was Test Your Metal, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Rob Halford and his band is in the fucking audience, and they finish their set on stage, and they all hold their hands out with their thumb to the side, and then all the band members turn their thumbs up at the last second before the video cuts off.
Oh, shit.
And they all give Unleash the Archers the thumbs up because Rob Halford's obviously a metal dude.
Oh, yeah.
And he has killer vocals. Well, she has these high-pitched, intense vocals for this metal, and he's sitting there in an audience, and at the end, they all have an appreciation for it, and they're like, you have our blessing, basically. Right. And I'm like, that is fucking legendary. Anybody that's not of this generation, of our generation of Rob Halford, listening to his music, is not going to know who the fuck this bald dude in the audience is with a goatee, but they're the only people in the audience, and they're doing a show just for them, basically. And you don't really see them until the end, I believe. Mm-hmm. And then you're like, as soon as they give them the thumbs up, you're like, holy shit, that was Rob Halford. What the fuck?
Yeah, and if you don't know who Rob Halford is, he's the lead singer from...
Say it, fool. Well, he spawned his own
Judas
band.
Priest.
Yeah, Judas Priest, but he spawned his own band after a while called 50 from 2. It was a side band.
Oh, okay.
And it had a lead song. It was, I believe, it was Hellbent for Leather. I don't know if he did it on Judas Priest or he did it. No, it was a different hit song. That was Hellbent for Leather was on Judas Priest.
Yes.
You know, breaking the law, all that shit. Mm-hmm. But he did a separate band when he, I think he came out of the closet. He came out as gay.
Right.
And then he had this separate band because he got a lot of hate and shit for being gay. But if you hate gay people, if you're one of those people who's against gays or whatever, let me tell you something. Some of the greatest rock bands in history, some of the gayest people ever.
Yeah.
They're some of the most talented too. Now, that's whatever. That's I don't really give a shit what you are, but if you can play, if you can do the job, and you can scream, and you got those vocals and that talent, fucking rock on. I don't give a shit what people's personal lives are. Just keep making the music, bro. Just, keep that shit to yourself. I don't really care, but when you got a talent like that, you got to share that with the world. That is amazing. It's an amazing gift.
And speaking of, homosexuals or whatever in metal and stuff, OTEP.
OTEP?
Really? She's a lesbian.
I didn't know that.
And she came on. She has some really great songs. And I heard this song called "Right Way, Left Way."
Huh.
And one of the lyrics is in there is the whole song she's talking about. She's gonna take this dude's wife and he's gonna fuck her better than he will.
Whoa!
And the one of my favorite lyrics from there is like, he called me a dyke, so I called him an ambulance.
Ooh.
And I was like, holy shit.
He didn't have to call her a dyke. I mean, he could have been the meat in that sandwich. There's 2 fine slices of bread you could have been right in the middle of.
Yeah.
Hell, I'm a lesbian on the inside. Let's fucking go.
But I know she's really talented. I mean, she's got that scream, like
I love that shit. When you got a voice for that.
But she can, also just sing and she can go hardcore, and then she can do mellow, and she's freaking awesome. She is definitely someone I would suggest if you're into that kind of metal and whatever, because I really don't care about they're like guys, girls, whatever. It's the music, and then especially if the catchy lyrics like that.
Okay, so speaking of vocals. Now, I don't know if this gal's straight or lesbian or whatever, but there's a band called Ginger, Jinjer.
Yeah.
Okay, they're from Ukraine. They're a Ukrainian metalcore band.
I thought they're German or something.
No, they're a band from Donetsk. I don't know how to say that. Donetsk.
Okay.
They formed in 2008. They're from Ukraine. And she has, let's see, it's Pisces Live Sessions. If you have a chance to look that up, that's my future ex-wife right there. She is so fucking hot. Oh my god. Yeah. And her vocals are, I've seen YouTube videos where there's professional operatic teachers and trainers and studiers, and she's listened to her vocals, and there's like a 20-minute video on this 5-minute song or whatever, and she says her voice is so beautiful, and then when it kicks down and she does the death growl and all that, it's like she has a double set of vocal cords or something, because she can do both. She can death growl, she can scream, and then instantly switch back to this beautiful operatic vocal talent. I mean, she's like the lead singer of Queen, but with a death growl. She has this fucking range. It's unbelievable.
Now, was that the charismatic voice? Because there's one on YouTube, and she's classically trained, and she goes through all these different, listen to Disturbed, Slipknot, AC/DC, all these different, videos, and it's like a 5-minute song, but it's like a 25-minute video because she keeps going back. When a System of a Down, she's like, seeing how their tones, how they change or whatnot, and she's like really good too. She did a video on the South Park. They did like operatic songs from South Park.
Yeah,
they was promoting like the new season or something.
Okay, so I don't know if this gal has been classically trained or not. I did watch videos. She speaks English. It's just her accent is very thick, and I did watch some of it where she goes. Somebody asked, one of the interviewers asked her, "Hey, do you do voice prep before you go on stage?" And she goes, "No, sometimes I'll have a cigarette, sometimes I won't." And she goes, "I don't prepare it. It's just my natural vocals can do that." And she gets on there and she does this, and I have a little bit that we can sample. Now watch this when she kicks down. This is all her right here. Right here. Watch, and then she goes right back. But right at the end of that, she goes right back. And then throughout the course of this song, she's going back and forth. And there's a point, if you put your earbuds in and you listen real close, there's a time where she's doing the death growl like that and singing, and she almost has both voices come out for a split second.
Oh.
It is fucking unbelievable. You can't usually hear it if you're just cranking the radio and driving down the road, but you put your earbuds in and crank it up and you can hear it.
Right, I've heard some of their stuff, and they're really good. I like them. Actually, I got one of their stations on
Pandora.
On Pandora.
Yeah, me too. I've downloaded a lot of their music, and it's just that Pisces song right there. When I first heard that, I listened to it maybe 15 times back to back every day.
Right.
I love that fucking song.
Yeah, no, it's a good song. Yeah, they're definitely a band to check out, because now they're just starting to kind of blow up and get more popular. And
yeah, they were underground. I guess you would call underground for a while, but they were, given the age of technology and connectivity and social media, they were able to get their music out there easier, and thank God for that, because I didn't hear about them until, you remember Kara?
Yeah.
She posted a video of them, and she goes, "Oh my God, my favorite female lead singer." And I sat there and I listened to it, and the lead singer had long dreads or something at the time, and she was on stage, and she's just rocking out singing, and all of a sudden she just barrels down into it, grabs the microphone, bends over, and just gives this fucking roar. And I'm like, there's no fucking way that's her. And I start looking it up and doing homework on them, and ever since then, I can't get enough of them. I want to hear them all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Legendary band. And they came out of nowhere, just fucking blew up on Facebook, YouTube, all that shit.
Yeah, and just like the Who, HU,
Mm-hmm.
the Who,
Mm-hmm.
they're I think they're German or Japan, something. I know the.
I'll look them up right now because I remember hearing about them, and my buddy, he told me about them. They did a Metallica song, but they're singing in their native language.
Yeah. Yeah, they'd actually done that's came up on my Pandora.
They're a Mongolian folk metal band.
There you go, yeah.
They came out in 2016, and dude, I remember hearing about them from my buddy when I worked over at Garbennet, and funny you bring them up, dude. I got them on my Pandora station. They're pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have them on my station, but I think they came on my Ginger radio.
Yeah. I mean, you think about it, we're more connected than ever. We can get a hold of anybody in the world. I mean, you got the technology at your fingertips. It's like all these bands, all this influence, people like you've heard Metallica do interviews, and they're doing concerts in Berlin and Austria and countries like Japan, and people who don't even speak English know every lyric to their song.
Yeah.
And now that we've got all this technology to connect everybody, there are bands coming out of the woodwork that just, you're like, holy shit, 30 years ago I would have never known they existed, and it's some of the greatest shit you've ever heard.
Yeah.
Like this band Ginger from Ukraine. I mean, look at what the fuck's going on in Ukraine right now. And we got Ukraine metalcore band that's fucking killing it. I love it.
Or in System of a Down.
System of a Down, all 100% Armenian.
The Armenian, yeah.
Imagine if the genocide that had happened to that culture and history, if it had actually wiped everybody out, we would have never had System of a Down.
Yeah.
The events that took place that we're now talking about this band that could have never existed.
Yeah, and it did affect them, like their then personally, it affected them. Just not the people, but the history and all that. And
my lawyer's Armenian, and he was telling me about this Armenian cause that happened, and System of a Down did a foundation they started or something they were going to donate a bunch of money to. So I sent my lawyer a link to this band's website that they were doing this foundation for, because I figured maybe they can get in touch with each other and make something happen, because he's very very into his culture, very connected to his culture, and obviously System of a Down is, and they have a voice, a platform, that social media, and that they can reach everybody. Maybe these two can get together and make something happen, because there's lots of money that goes back to not Ukraine, oh my God, Armenia, and then they can help out the families, survivors, things like that, because there's a lot of effects that still happen today. But
because System of a Down's been on hiatus for quite a while. Then they did release a couple new songs, and all proceeds for that song.
That's the one I'm talking about.
I forgot the name, but that was a trip from was it last year?
About a year and a half ago. It was right before that pandemic bullshit.
Yeah, when I was able to see System of a Down with Korn.
You fucking rat bastard.
And I was like, when I forgot who was supposed to be with Korn, but then it's like, they changed it to System of a Down. I'm like, what the shit?
Wasn't it Megadeth?
No, I don't remember who they were. They were promoting some other band, and then out of nowhere, the other band couldn't make it, so they threw in System of a Down. I'm like, what? I thought they were like on a hiatus, and I didn't know they were even touring.
Yeah,
because I keep up. I mean,
Dave Mustaine. Speaking of Megadeth, Dave Mustaine, I heard he's recovered from throat cancer.
Oh, really?
He's gonna live. He's gonna be fine. That's what I heard.
I seen an article something about that.
And then I was just thinking about Bad Wolves right now. He is with a gal. He does a song, but he's with a gal from a band called Diamante.
Okay.
And let me look them up, their song on YouTube. They have Bad Wolves has quite a bit of good music that there's Remember When, and that's about him and his brother when they used to go stealing and doing stupid shit. And then the lead singer of Bad Wolves ended up taking a different direction in life. He learned his lesson, got his shit together, and his brother broke in and damn near killed him. Oh, wow. And that's why when he has his mohawk, it grows out because it covers up the scar that almost split his head open and shit. And he does a song with the lead singer of Diamante called Hear Me Now.
No, I think I've heard that one.
And so once I seen the music videos in black and white, and I seen her, and I didn't know they were together, and I was just sitting there looking at it, and I was like, dude, they got some fucking chemistry. Mm-hmm. They ought to be together, dumbass. Right. I didn't know. And then I started looking at her. I'm not much on redheads, but she is smoking hot.
Yeah. So
I started looking up her band, and they're fucking talented as all get out. But you don't hear much about them. But she is fucking awesome.
Right. Yeah. And
I think that's an all-female band, and it got me thinking about Four Non-Blondes, the all-female band. Yeah. And I was like, wow, finally, there's some good shit out there.
In the 90s.
Yeah, but I would have never known about her that she has a band. I just thought she was a guest vocal if it wasn't for all this connectivity.
Right. And
I'm able to do so much homework now.
Yeah, hell yeah. You talking about you didn't know that they were like together. Like Jim Root from Slipknot and the other band too.
Stone Sour?
Stone Sour, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Mind. I know he was dating the lead singer from Lacuna Coil.
No way.
Yeah.
Dude, she was foxy.
Yeah.
Lacuna Coil, whatever happened to them?
That I have. 13 years. He was in a highly publicized relationship with Christina Scabia, lead singer of Italian.
Her last name is Scabia?
Yep.
Like the skin infection? You're fucking lying. Most for
yeah, I didn't know they're Italian.
Wait, where does it say her name?
Right there, towards the bottom.
Oh. It's
yeah,
I can't find it. Oh, Christina Scabia or
no
Scabia. Scabia only has one B. It's Scabia.
Well, it's Italian, so how the fuck should I know?
It's the Scabia. You gotta say it with that Italian pinch where your hand is pointing up, and you go, "It's the Scabia."
But they're another really good band. She was actually featured on Altuda Limon by Megadeth.
No fucking way.
Yeah. And that song was freaking
Oh, I remember that song.
awesome.
I love that song.
And that song was
that was off the album Kick the Chair, wasn't it?
I'm not sure, but I think it was dedicated to what's his name from Metallica that passed.
Cliff Burton.
Cliff, yeah, I believe that's what the song was. I'd have to research it, double check, but I think I seen what it was. I actually know what it was about. It's the song is pretty much when you have loved ones that die and they end on a bad note, they wish they could say something to them. So this is an opportunity for the deceased to say something before they go. So that's what the song's about. So it's not necessarily about to Cliff, but I mean, something that he could have, anyone that we've lost. I mean, it's a deep song. It's like one of my favorites.
Yeah,
Megadeth. And it's not that real Megadeth sound. It's real kind of mellow and does have that hard sound. But I mean, it's something that I really enjoy.
Yeah, I definitely like that song a lot. I know I was looking up some bands the other day, and what surprised me is I was listening to the voice. I heard this gal's voice for years, the lead singer of Flyleaf.
Okay.
And I always thought, man, that voice is amazing. She sounds smoking hot.
Yeah.
And I decided to look her up, and I'm like, holy shit, she is smoking hot. I did some more digging. She's a Christian band.
Yeah. You never knew that?
No, I never knew that.
Yeah,
I'm digging on this band, and I had no idea. And I'm like, and then I before Anthony's mom had passed, she was telling me about it. She goes, yeah, she gave up her career to be a mother to her kids. And I'm like, wow, what a stand-up thing to do. Yeah. Most people were like, oh, I can do both. I can juggle it.
Yeah.
She made her money. She did her investments. She's living off the royalties. And she's like, fuck it, I'm going to hang out with my kids.
Yeah.
I'm like, what a great opportunity. Not everybody gets that. And she sees the moment, and she's like, you know what? I know exactly what I want to do. Mm-hmm. She can always go back to it later when her kids decide, hey, they're going off to college, whatever. Yeah. She's got all this time. She can always come back. So that's the return I'm waiting for.
You
that
know,
would be legendary.
Yeah, Athena used to listen to them, and I kind of borrowed a CD and I'd listen to it. And it was good. And speaking of how she retired and to take care of it, the same thing with Rick Moranis.
Yes, that's true. I did read about that. He, the nerdy dude from Ghostbusters.
His wife had passed away from cancer, I believe.
Oh, shit.
And he had no young ones. And so after she had passed, he just stepped away. And he's like, you know what? I love doing these movies. He's been in some iconic movies. Spaceballs, Ghostbusters.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. And, so he stepped away to be able to take care of his kids.
Yeah.
I know he had made a cameo on The Goldbergs. Yeah. Because I guess it's supposed to take place in the 80s. I never watched it, but I do know that he made a cameo as Darth Helmet.
Yes.
Dark Helmet.
That's funny.
And then he's coming out. I mean, now I believe his children are older.
Yeah, he's got an opportunity to do a little bit more.
Now he's doing a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids series for Disney Plus.
Wait. They're turning it into a TV show?
Yeah, it's going to be a TV series. Yeah.
I mean, the only thing saving is that Rick Moranis is going to be a part of it, but... Okay, that bothers me. When you turn a movie down into a TV show, it kind of bothers me. Now, Marvel's pulling it off.
Yeah.
Marvel's doing a fantastic job because that gives some in-betweens.
And it's all connected.
All connected. But when you have a show like that should have been a movie, like Prison Break, I fucking hated that show.
Really?
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
How many times you going to break out of prison, motherfucker? Make it a movie. The trailer for the TV show, I was like, this is going to be a fantastic movie. I was staying out of town at the time. The guy that was there with me, he goes, oh, no, that's going to be a TV show. I'm like, fucking gay.
Yeah. Well, like the Willow series. I just read an article, I think either today. I believe it's today. They canceled it after one season. Because, I mean, it was like the effects and everything was good. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of nostalgia.
That kind of almost proves my point.
But
it was better a movie than a TV show.
Yeah, because it was more,
Did they say why they canceled it?
The critic reviews were great, but fan reviews were negative.
Ah, that's where the internet will eat you the fuck up.
Yep. So if you're listening to us, don't criticize us too much because we're still new. This is our, 4th episode?
Hey, man, I mean, we already said we're not for the weak. But if we can't take criticism, then that's one thing. But, I mean, it is what it is, dude. We like what we do. We sit back and listen to the episodes while we're editing it and compiling and then producing it. We sitting here laughing our asses off. We love our shit. I mean, that's how some of the greats got started. If we don't laugh at it, then obviously we're doing something wrong. We need to change it up. But
some of my coworkers, they listen to it. And our last one, we got in... a pretty deep conversation, and
the last episode was our most downloaded episode. 37 total downloads since we switched to RSS feed, which helps launch us into Spotify. But 28 followers and a total of 37 downloads of the last episode. That's pretty good. We hit 50 listeners or 50 downloads in Buzzsprout, but since we switched to RSS, we've had a total of 37 downloads of the last episode. And if I look back at our numbers over here I'll go back to RSS, go back from analytics. Oh, Germany, if you guys are still listening, I love the band Rammstein. I need you guys to tell them that, or at least, get them to put out some more music, because I've seen some of their videos. They put on a fucking hell of a show, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely awesome. When they did the lightning on the keyboard and shit during Duhast.
I think that dude, lights himself on fire.
Well, when he was doing the keyboard deal, he had lightning coming down while he was doing it during Duhast. And then when we was it high school or just after high school, and they released the English version of it?
Oh, yeah.
I was like, holy shit. There were some of the words in there I couldn't quite make out, even no matter how much homework I did, and I listened to that. But since we switched to RSS, our episode 2.1 had 17 downloads. Episode 1 has 14 downloads and a total of 37 downloads since March 11th, which we did the episode on March 10th, Mario Day.
Mm-hmm.
But according to when it got put online, it had crossed over midnight and released officially on March 11th.
Okay.
So today being 3/17,
8 days.
we're gonna try and do an episode a week. You know how life happens, holiday seasons happen, trips to Vegas like you're gonna do.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is. We're gonna try and at least record once a week and release that Friday, like when new movies come out or whatever.
Right.
We're doing the best that we can. We do like doing this. Obviously, this is one of our passions. Otherwise, we wouldn't be sitting here shooting the shit about it. What are we pushing here? We're pushing 5:30. We got a half an hour to get ready for this concert. You want to wrap this up?
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that sounds good to me. Definitely just go home and relax a bit. I know you got to get ready.
I'm just gonna change and start finding this place. It's gonna take us a few minutes to get out there, but
yeah, if you want to, meet me at my house and then
yeah,
we shoot.
I got to
right
make
down
sure my kid's got food in his belly and then we can go. But
yeah, go grab me a couple beers. Start
You're gonna
pre-gaming
pregame
it
it,
before.
So to finalize and wrap things up, people, we love that we have listeners in other countries, Germany, Belgium, Italy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't thank you guys enough. We appreciate it, man. You definitely knocked our socks off. We got listeners out in Texas. God bless Texas. We got Vegas listeners. You're going to be in Vegas soon. I mean, we got listeners all over the country. I'm going to show you the map as soon as we're done so you can see this, where the red dots are, all the listeners. I can zoom in on the city. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Can't believe it. We can't thank you enough. We appreciate it. Everybody here in America, all over the country, all over the world. If we hit a note for you, bring up some good memories, and you guys want to email us, shoot us an email. Don't forget to say hi or give us some topics you want us to bring up. Just don't forget, shoot your email to readyplayerquestions@gmail.com. We love to hear from you. You got anything else you want to add?
And if Canada, if you guys hear this, we could be in all of North America. All we need is you now for your support.
Yeah, we love to hear from you in Canada. What was the video games, movies called out there?
Mm-hmm.
Was there anything different that you guys happened to hear about? Germany, when did you guys get the NES? What was your favorite consoles? Shoot us all the questions you can, and we might not be able to get to them all. We work 8-hour jobs, 40 hours a week, and we're doing this in our spare time to have a good time and just kind of make our little footprint on the world and kind of connect with other people who had the same experience. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, and like I was saying, one of my friends, she really enjoyed, she keeps bugging me when you get to do a new episode.
Yeah,
do a new episode.
I love it.
And then as soon as, I told her about her last episode, and she's like, okay, no, I'm going to listen to it, and
I love it. I'd like to meet her.
She was like, hey, did you listen to it? She was like, yeah.
Is that the gal Sarah that you guys did the birthday party?
No, it was one of my other friends from work. And
I'd love to meet her. I'd like to hear what I'd like to, person to person, see what she thought.
And when I told her, I showed her the screenshot of, that we're in other countries. And she's like, what? I'm like, yeah, we're international now. And
yeah,
like,
isn't that fucking
shit.
bananas, dude? I'm so fucking hyped.
She was like, oh my God, that's awesome.
Right?
And
when I saw it, I was like, holy shit. I check this shit every day, sometimes 3-4 times a day, and I send you screenshots. As soon as something new happens, I'm like, we got 28 followers. Holy fuck. That might not be a lot for some people that are really blown up, but that's amazing to us.
Yeah.
We got 28 people who listen to us, who've heard our voice, and in other countries.
Yeah.
We have, 37 different people played and download our episode. At least a handful of those were in other countries.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. We're in places that we can't even afford to get a ticket
so
to.
So a lot of these listeners, I'm pretty sure some of them are people that we know, but then other countries.
Yeah.
Now that is fucking awesome.
That's one thing I'd like to implement is like, okay, I listen to Andy Friscelli on Spotify.
Right. We talked about that last
He
time.
says there's no fee for his show. The only fee he does charge, he says there's no financial fee for his show. The fee he does charge is if you like us and you like what we got to say and you know somebody that would benefit or love to hear what we had to say, tell somebody about it. Pass us on to somebody else. That's the only fee we want to charge. Because right now we're doing all this financially on our own. We're not asking for anything, but a bit of your time. If you enjoy it, spread us around.
Yeah.
Put us on bread like butter and spread us around. We want everybody to have a good experience and let you know that you may not be the only one who had this experience with a video game or a movie or a thought process. I mean, we're a couple of nobodies, but we're having a good time and. And you know what? If we keep ourselves busy, we keep ourselves out of trouble.
Mm-hmm. And if we can, relate to some of the stories that maybe I've done this dumb shit too, or if they've gone through the loss of a loved one, and
or you have a song that definitely you want that you think is not getting enough appreciation, like we hear the band Ginger that's now starting to blow up. When I first listened to System of a Down, nobody had heard of them.
Right.
I had bought the album. It had the handprint on it, and it was all in red. It had a bonus CD. You put it in your computer, and you got to see. You were one of the first people who saw the video for Sugar.
See, that one I never knew. I just knew the black.
It
cover.
had behind-the-scenes stuff and everything. And if you took that CD that was meant for your computer and you put it in your CD player, Walkman CD player, remember those? If you put that in there, the only audio track on that was I think it was the guy that was backup lead singer that does bass. Mm-hmm. He goes on there and he goes, "This is not for your CD player, it's for your computer." And it was the only audio track on there, and you're like, "Oh shit, I put the wrong one in my CD player." You put it in your computer and you saw this other shit, but nobody knew it because I was the asshole who sat there and was like, "Oh, I wonder what happens if I put this in my CD player." And then that audio played, and I'm like,
dumbass that does that.
I don't know anybody else that's ever heard that, but I definitely heard that. Mm-hmm. Somebody else out there in this universe has heard that shit, and they're like, "Me too, motherfucker."
Yeah. Yep. So we do appreciate you guys taking the time listening to us. If you're driving the car or just want to listen to some assholes just ramble on. You know what? I'm Matt.
I'm Mike. And thank you for listening to Ready Player U. This is episode 4, March 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day 2023. Hope you all have a good green beer and be safe and, don't do nothing we wouldn't do, although you don't know what we wouldn't do, so just make sure you don't get caught. All right.
Laters.
Bye-bye.